Happy Friday, Denver. You just heard the Fricashinas. It is the debut episode here. I am with Kevin, I am with Art, and we are the Happy Friday Denver crew. Welcome, gentlemen. It is so good to do this.
Man, we are pumped right now. We are super pumped. I mean, the amount of work that went into creating this and to be with a talented person like yourself, it's so good to have some new energy.
We're doing it for real.
Yes.
Like, literally, we've been talking about this for I don't know how long, right?
It's been in the works for a long time, guys. And, you know, shout out to Mile High Life. Like we said on Discussion Combustion for the launch, we're here. It's time, guys. It's time. This is Denver's podcast. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff tonight. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Fun things coming your way. Let's kick it off, boys.
But first of all, one more thing. The Fricashinas. Check them out. Get on them on social. They got a show coming up. We're going to talk about that next week. That is next Happy Friday. They are one of my favorite local bands. I've introduced these guys to them. They made this great song. And you know what? We love the Fricashinas.
Absolutely. You like that intro music? That's the Fricashinas. Check it out. Happy Friday, representing heavy.
All right, so we started this show. Basically, we want to do good vibes here in Denver, right? Cool shit to do. No one is doing this. Why hasn't this existed yet?
It's time. It really is. It's time to talk about, you know, bringing people together. That's the whole, you know, purpose of this program is to talk about Denver, Colorado, the fun things that are going on out here, right? This is such a great city. There's so much culture out here. There's so much to do. Great music, events, tastings, what have you. We want to cover it all. And there's always good, you know, news stories coming out of this 5280 as well. And I know we got a lot to talk about. It also coincides with the first day of fall, guys. The seasons are changing.
Super exciting.
First day of fall. Okay, let's get to our first segment. It is the first day of fall. And one thing you got to love is the Westword. Denver institution at this point. So here's the other vibe of Happy Friday. We're not competing with anyone. We want to raise up everyone. So who's doing good work out there? Let's showcase it. Westword, Denver institution. Every single week is coming out with, hey, here's cool shit to do. So their most recent article, what do we do first day of Friday? So we got Denver Startup Week. We got some arts festivals. We got a cool astronomy event in an official dark sky park. Which I know, dude. I am giddy with anticipation. The Edgewater Hometown Festival is also coming. Westword calls it tiny but mighty. Have you guys been to Westward? Or I'm sorry, have you guys been to Edgewater?
I have been to Edgewater. Cool place, definitely.
Did you go to Edgewater Inn?
No, I haven't been to Edgewater Inn.
Oh, dude.
I haven't been personally.
Okay, one of the best pizzas you will ever get.
It's right off near Sloan's Lake, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. So right off of Sheridan, Edgewater Inn. Best pizza place. What grabbed you from this list? And what do you love to do in the fall?
I mean, obviously drinking, right? We got the Denver Oktoberfest coming up this weekend. I did the Denver Food and Wine Festival a couple weeks ago. I mean, that was technically still summer, but, you know, I'm not really into pumpkins and corn mazes and things of that nature.
Oh, you don't have kids, though, so.
That's a good point, John. I don't have kids. You know, fall, I just like being, you know, the seasons are changing, being outdoors, seeing what's going on around the city. It seems like it's a good time to do outdoor activities because it's not blistering hot. It's not too cold yet. The fall's a good time here in the 5280.
Yeah.
It absolutely is, man. One of my favorite things off the list is definitely going to be some stargazing.
Totally.
All right, and the main reason for stargazing is because it's one of two things that are timeless. And I'm going to go ahead and say staring at the stars is timeless. Humans have been doing that for thousands of years.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to also lump in looking dead into a flame. All right, so staring into a flame in October around a nice little thing. We got our beers, whatever you want, and then you're also going to have the stars above. I love that. It's timeless. It brings me to a place that is infinite.
Okay, so for me, I like when the weather gets cold, so I'm a summer guy. Like, summer is
me too, brother.
a number one season for me. It's the best season for me. Fall's a close second, though. I will say that. So, Kev, when fall comes, it's more whiskey season. Right?
It absolutely is bourbon season.
Yeah, it's chili season,
Bring
right?
the bourbon.
So red chili, green chili, like let's make some traditional Texas-style chili.
Yes.
But although I add beans, I like the beans.
Oh, I do too.
So Texas is no beans. I don't get that.
Yeah, Texas, you guys got to step it up. There's a lot of things I like that Texas does right with certainly fall foods. I mean, look, it's football season, guys. Comfort foods. These guys are the master. Texas brisket. I got a Traeger. I'm smoking meat for football season. Look, we're 2 weeks into the NFL season, guys. It's time for whiskey. It's time for smoked meat. It's time for good times.
And we would be derelict if here in Colorado we're not talking about green chili season. Pueblo chilies, Hatch chilies. I'm not going to be territorial about New Mexico versus Colorado. I don't care. Just feed me some green chili, man.
It's so good.
So
do you like it with the pork or do you like it more of
with
the soupy
pork.
style?
Yeah, you got to put pork in the chili.
Chunked?
Oh, totally.
Chunked
Yeah.
or like kind of,
Chunked.
shredded?
Chunked. Yeah.
Yes.
You,
Okay.
dude,
I'm happy we're both there.
Totally, dude. You get a big chunk of pork. like on your fork. And I love nothing.
on your
Chunk of
fork?
pork on the
Pork on a fork. Put my pork on a fork, man.
Please do.
Let's wow, we're off the rails already. It's segment 1. I love it. So but nothing is better than when you're getting like a nice breakfast burrito and you get that gravy over it, and then there's just a nice hunk of pork on it.
So good.
So it's green chili season. I have my own green chili recipe, and it's almost dialed in. It's this close. It's this close.
So close, huh?
It's this
And
close.
so you're saying it really doesn't matter between Hatch Valley or Pueblo green chilies. You don't taste much of a difference in your creations.
I don't know that I would say that. I would just say I'm not territorial about it.
Fair enough.
It's not an or for me. It's an and.
It's
right?
please green chili me.
Yes, please green chili me. That's a great way of putting it. So
And you can put it on anything, guys.
yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, Kev, you're a football guy. Is that your number one sport?
I mean, NASCAR is definitely number one.
I
Football
set you up
close.
for that.
Yep. Close second is football. Of course, I'm a NASCAR guy. We're in the NASCAR playoffs.
Ooh.
It's good times.
Who's in the lead?
Right now it's kind of battling back and forth. Christopher Bell's moved on. We just lost 4 guys in the round of 16. The way the NASCAR playoffs work is it's segmented throughout 10 races. Arthur and I are going to be down there for the championship, covering that on Mash the Gas and TCPC, of course. But
Wow.
man, this is just a good time of year. NASCAR is not obviously big here in Denver, but that's going to change, guys.
Yeah. No, it's not my thing, but, anytime there's playoffs, like I got really into the U.S. Open. So U.S. Open tennis was just fantastic this year. A lot of new blood in there. Francis Tiafoe, who is maybe the next great hope for Americans. As you transition from summer to fall, it's really interesting sports-wise because you're starting to get stakes in baseball. Football's kicking off. Basketball and hockey are right around the corner. We're going to talk a little bit about hockey here later. Man, yeah, just what a magical time of year. September's a good month.
It is. In October, of course, Sober October. Are we doing it? Are we not? We haven't committed on any platform yet, but it's a big thing. It's a trend.
Maybe sober October we drink less.
Stay tuned.
Yes,
Well, you know what?
Stay tuned on that.
I'm going to GABF, so there's going to be one day where we're
Okay.
probably not going to be
Great
too sober.
American Beer Festival.
So yeah, we'll talk about that probably in a couple of weeks. I would
It's
imagine.
coming up.
So
It's coming up. But don't forget, Denver Oktoberfest is this weekend.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Okay.
I love the seasons change. I love fall. I get hot in the summer. I like it when it cools off a little bit. So the week for me is amazing right now. John, why don't you tell us a little bit about your week?
Oh God. Okay. So started the week with jury duty, and here's what I'll say. Everyone starts out jury duty kind of the same, right, Art? Where you go, okay, I'm annoyed. I have to go in. Blah blah blah. It's going to mess up my day. I have work to do. But I'm always proud to do my civic duty. Like literally. Democracy only works if we participate. And you need to have a jury for what's going on. So I got called, went in. I was among the first group to get called into a trial, and I sat in the back for a long time. And they're going through the voir dire, which is only a term I know because I heard it.
Voir dire.
Voir dire. It's a French term. VOIR. So this is the spelling bee portion of Happy Friday. I don't know if you guys knew that we were going to do that. DIRE. But it's where they interview the jury and they decide on a jury. So they excuse some people who can't speak English very well. And then, they ask if you have biases. And some people are like, it was a car accident case. So some people were like, I had my best friend die in a car accident. And so they get excused. I made it into the box, guys. It was the very first time I ever made it.
I've never made it to the box.
Yeah, I've never had to go.
I never even had to show up.
You never had to show up?
I was summoned 3 times. I was excited to go every time. I wanted to be on the jury, guys.
You wanted to be?
I wanted to be there. I still want to be there. Send me another invite. Get me in the building. And every time I would check the night before, and it's like number 680 through 940 is
Right.
excused, and that was always me.
Oh, okay. Art, have you ever gone?
So I have been summoned multiple times. Twice they canceled before I went, similar to Kevin. And then one time I went in there and started answering the questions and stuff. But I feel like I didn't want to get into the box, so I was like purposefully explicit.
Oh, yeah?
Or
you
however
weren't
you
sabotaging yourself, were you? Or were you?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Ah, come on, Art.
A lot of folks do that.
I did.
I had one guy tell me, he says, man, the only thing you got to do to get out of jury duty if you make it into the box is you look at him and you tell him, I'm a sovereign citizen. And you're out of there.
Dude,
that's your easy escape.
You have no idea. Kristen was foreman of a jury for the sovereign citizens.
What is a sovereign citizen?
It means you don't apply yourself to the law.
It's the separatist movement inside the country. Kristen was on a jury that convicted a sovereign citizen.
Wow.
It was wild, okay? So I'm in the box, and I can tell you the exact moment they excused me. It was the prosecuting attorney said, would you have any reservation about finding $1 million for the plaintiff? And I said, doesn't $1 million exceed the punitive damages that you can get in Colorado? And he goes, yes, but there are no punitive damages in this case. And I'm like, in his head, I'm like, this guy's done. Like, so I knew I was cooked at that point. He was like, we don't need college boy Poindexter here, knowing too much about the law. So yeah, they read the names. It was a 7-person jury. So for civil cases, it's 6 and 1 alternate. There were 17 of us that they pick from. And so from there, they start naming the names. They get to 4. So I'm counting the names as they're doing it, right? And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm starting to get excited. I'm like, no, don't get excited. 5, okay, 6, awesome. And then I'm like, oh no, this is where the hammer drops, isn't it? This is exactly where the hammer drops. And they read the 7th name, and I go, oh God. Okay, so I sat in these uncomfortable chairs for like 5 hours that morning. And basically at the end of it, I was just tired and hungry. So that was my jury duty experience on Monday. Messed up my schedule the whole week, but I'd do it again. I'm happy to do it.
Hey, man, that makes total sense to me. And way to show up, show out, and be there, because we all need to do our duty in society to make it work.
It's our civil duties.
Yeah.
But you talking about hunger really gets me going, man.
Oh, totally.
And one of the new things in Denver, I don't know if people really know about this, but something that's been happening is Korean spicy chicken.
Oh, God, Korean fried chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken. It's starting to hit the scene in Denver. It's become more popular. It's overtaking Kentucky spicy chicken, or the
Nashville hot?
Yeah, Nashville hot. Yeah, it's overtaking that. It's stepping on the scene in Denver right now.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I haven't tried it yet. I've had the Nashville heavy cayenne pepper, gives me heartburn. I have not tried the Korean spicy yet. So, I'm gonna have to taste this. And I know we got some good places around the city that definitely offer this. We're gonna have to go down for a visit.
Oh yeah, no, I got a small list to provide, and why is it becoming popular in Denver though? It's due to the Korean culture. This has actually been out in LA for a while and been a popular staple out there. But the K-pop and all that type of music and stuff is kind of what has been one of the catalysts to make it more popular. And what makes it a Korean fried chicken? Like, what makes it that? And it's actually, they double deep fry it. A double deep fry. It sounds like you did some research on this.
No, I just knew that because it's crispier. And so and the way it seals in the juices, the way they double fry it, so it's not dry on the inside. It's not all like husked out. Mm-hmm. But it's so juicy. It's amazing. Art, I'm going to take issue with a mild thing. I still love Nashville hot chicken. And I got to give a shout to the Post.
Okay.
So the Post
is good.
The Post Brewing, dude. And Nashville hot is like my favorite because I got a taste for the spice, man.
I think you do. And I remember, was it this year that you and your wife went down to Nashville and went down for a
Totally.
visit and got to try real Nashville chicken?
Oh God, yes. It was exceptional. We did that earlier. Nashville, they call it Nash Vegas. You can't walk 50 feet without running into a bachelorette party. Wow. It's wild there. Who you got for Korean fried chicken, Art?
So I would like to go experience more in person, but I'm going to name off a couple of the top places I found. We got Wing Walk in Centennial. We have Vaughn's Chicken in Aurora, and then also Mano Mano Brewery in Lafayette. So definitely go check out all these places. Delicious chicken. They have extensive menus beyond that. And there's been some weird trends with chicken.
Are you going to be okay?
Yeah.
Did you get a taste of that spice?
Did you just mainline some spice? What happened there?
He had some spice. He's
so
right though.
I'm gonna add one. Okay, so to Art's list, I'm gonna add Bonchon. It's Korean fried chicken. There's another place, and I can't remember what it's called. It's near my house. It's on Colfax. It's on East Colfax. It used to be called 3014, and a Korean fried chicken place has gone into it that I have not tried yet. But, dude, Art, you talking about this, I wish after jury duty I had hit up one of these places. Why didn't we coordinate on this earlier in the week?
Because the spice calls to us when we need.
A little bit of spice makes everything nice, And when it comes to chicken, John, there's a lot of things going on right now in the world with how you saute your chicken.
Is this how you marinate your chicken?
Look, guys. NyQuil works. Okay, we heard about NyQuil. Okay,
I love NyQuil. It's one of my favorite drugs.
It does make me feel kind of funny. I will tell you that. So
ain't nothing wrong with that.
It was brought to my attention this week because I'm always the last to know anything about anything trending. Anyone who knows who I am, I'm not with it. So apparently, there's a TikTok trend going around, John, about sleepy chicken. What's going on?
Sleepy chicken. Yeah, hashtag sleepy chicken challenge. Mm-hmm. Apparently, you can saute your chicken in NyQuil. And to the point where this went viral enough, and this is why I'm not on TikTok and why I fucking hate TikTok. There's always some bullshit challenge going on that like puts people in danger. Apparently, this has gone on enough to where the FDA had to issue an official statement like, please don't saute your chicken in NyQuil.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing with that is, are you changing the chemical compound of the ingredients in NyQuil when you cook it? Like,
possibly.
Like what's happening? Like, why is the FDA getting involved? But firstly, like, who in the hell in their right mind wants to get sleepy off of eating chicken? That's what turkey is for.
I mean, turkey does have that tryptophan in it, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Tryptophan, right?
Yeah.
So you can get that natural bird sleep if you want it. You don't need to coat your chicken in NyQuil, guys. It's
Get that bird sleep?
that bird sleep, yeah. That poultry hit, you know.
Get that poultry hit. Yeah,
You can do it naturally. You don't need to add, cough medicine or sleep aids to your chicken. And I don't know, like we were talking a little bit about this before we went on the air, John.
Get that bird hit? What the fuck?
You can get a natural bird hit. You don't need that artificial
Is this
hit.
chicken indica or sativa?
It's a hybrid.
Well, if you add the NyQuil to it, you make it strong indica. So this is my chicken, indica into couch.
Yeah.
By the way, just a PSA from those of us here at Happy Friday: don't cook your chicken in NyQuil. Please
Do
don't.
not.
Please
Absolutely
don't ever
not.
cook your
Yeah.
chicken in NyQuil.
It's just not a good idea.
Well, dude, it's kind of like how I really like sriracha, right?
I do too.
That's my favorite hot sauce. I love whiskey.
I do too.
I'm not going to combine them.
No.
Why would you ever do that? So, like, I love NyQuil. NyQuil puts me to sleep like a goddamn baby. I love chicken.
Who doesn't? But here's the thing, John. When you take your NyQuil, you're taking the recommended dose,
Yeah,
which
right.
is like what? I don't know, a tablespoon,
And they're
whatever
putting
it
like
is.
a quarter of a bottle up in
They're
there.
putting the whole bottle in there, Art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole bottle's going in this
Too much.
in this saute pan, and then this chicken's coming out. I don't even know if it's cooked. I can't tell, right?
No,
But
it looks disgusting.
it looks like it's covered in like Play-Doh or something.
It looks
Wait,
like
you've
it's
watched
a
it?
Smurf chicken.
I took a gander at because I had to know what was going on.
Like,
And
okay,
it doesn't
so
look good.
have you ever seen those photos? Like, someone will put like a listicle together, and it's like, if you're not cooking your chicken medium rare, then get away from me. And you go, you're gonna get salmonella, you dumbass. Like, so with this, like, you're eating blue chicken, your brain goes, that's poison. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely not. It shouldn't happen. Don't let it happen. But here's the thing with TikTok, right? I'm not on it. I don't want to be on it.
No.
And these challenges are dangerous and they're harmful. And I was actually reading that TikTok now has to put out a disclaimer when you type in NyQuil chicken, a little piece of information pops up and says this could be dangerous or harmful for your life.
Yeah, I would have never thought.
And yet they're still allowing this nonsense to go on. Not for me. Don't
Okay,
recommend it.
as long as we're in the realm of the stupid here, okay? How tall are you guys?
I'm about 6'1" with my
6'1"?
boots on.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're good. Art, how tall are you?
I'm right underneath the magic marker at 5'10" and a half.
Okay.
And a half.
You had to put the half in there, didn't you?
Every inch,
Sounds like a 4-year-old.
Okay.
everything
I'm 4 and a
counts.
half.
Everything counts.
I'm 4 3/4. So I'm 5'9". To be taller, would you guys be willing to break your femurs, spend $150,000, and have metal nails inserted into your femurs, regrow them, and be 3 inches taller?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
You're hesitating?
well, if I'm not in my current state, however, if I was like an extremely short dude, okay, because I don't know how this works. I don't know how
All
it
right.
works.
Okay.
Like how many times did you get denied to go on a date because you were too short to where you are now considering breaking your legs and having metal
And
installed?
months of recovery,
Yeah.
spending 6 figures on. Okay, all right.
I mean, people are probably doing this.
They are. Let's talk about this. So, an article in GQ said a growing number of men are undergoing a radical and expensive procedure to grow anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. The catch, it requires having both your femurs broken. Okay, here's my favorite part of this. All the height gain obviously comes from your legs, so your proportions can look a little weird, especially when you're naked. So you have your normal proportions right now, right? Okay, so you add 3 inches to your thighs, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, normal. What the fuck is going on with that dude's thighs?
Yeah.
Well, a man like you that's like all torso, that could work out.
You bastard. Shots fired on that one.
Yeah, see, for me, I mean, I got the legs, right? I got that short torso. So can we do torso lengthening? Is that a thing?
No, that seems like it would kill you.
Because you got to stretch the spine. That's just
Well,
off
what-
limits.
Are you adding more vertebrae? Like, you can't
Yeah.
do
Can't
that.
do that.
I mean, what happens to like the veins in your leg, like the arteries and the muscles? Like how does that how does that part work?
It's terrifying,
You know?
right? Like, so apparently, that like, there's a guy in Vegas. So I read this article in GQ who does this and is like the guru of this. And men are coming up, and apparently, like, your coordination is all fucked up after that too. So imagine trying to walk around like you've been walking normally, and then like once you get off the walker and the crutches, because you have to do that so everything heals. Once you get done with that, imagine how different your gait is now.
Yeah.
Like, how hard would it be to play basketball or like run after that? Because you got to like relearn it.
You have to relearn it. I mean, I'd imagine the recovery is pretty extreme. This is not a natural occurrence. The body was not meant to have your femurs slashed, right, broken, extended, what have you. I mean, it's amazing what they can do now as far as, augmentation and doing all these kind of procedures. Not something I would do, John. I'm not spending six figures on this thing. No way.
No.
Yeah,
well,
me
I mean,
neither,
you're
me
already
neither.
tall, but
Yeah, no, but here's the thing: is like, if we can accept who we are,
Yeah.
and truly remove the perception of other people's opinions from our own disposition of ourselves, then we're all going to be better people and contribute more to society in a more positive fashion. So things like this extreme body change
Yeah, dude,
is something that I feel is like let's solidify who we are with ourselves and really find strength within ourselves and acceptance.
okay. And here's the other thing: if you've flown as extensively as I have, because I used to have a corporate job,
Oh my gosh.
you appreciate being normal size because the economy class just keeps shrinking. So I'm like,
It's true.
you know what? I'm happy to be 5'9". Fuck this. Like, I sit comfortably in these chairs, and I watch these people like with their legs up against the thing, and I go, happy that's not me.
Yeah, and look, I got to tell you, being tall is not all that it's chalked up to be. And I'm not even that tall. I'm just barely,
No, yeah, like-
crested 6 feet. I hit my head on things. I got to duck under things, right? I feel bad for the folks that are 8 feet tall.
My thesis advisor, 6'8".
That's serious.
That's a big boy.
He was enormous. All right, Kev, you invest in crypto.
I do.
You got something? Let's talk about this. What do you got?
Yeah, this is pretty exciting stuff, guys. So Colorado is actually one of the first states to now, accept crypto as a form of payment for your taxes. And I think this is tremendous. So we've really seen, cryptocurrency continue to develop. A lot of folks are investing in it. A lot of portfolios are adopting it as in mutual funds and things of that nature. I don't know where you guys stand on crypto. I believe in it. It's extremely volatile, of course. It's up and down. A lot of people have taken a huge loss on it. A lot of people have made a lot of money on it. But I think this is the future. El Salvador, they brought it in as a national currency. Colorado's now accepting it as a form of tax payment. I like it.
I just worry that because it's new, it tends to be rife with scams. And we've read so many scams with NFTs and with people who are the gatekeepers who are entrusted with keeping people's real money, that when they take off with it, there's not as much insurance or regulation as there is with like traditional money.
That makes
so
sense.
I think in the early going, I hope it gets figured out, but in the early going, there's a lot of area for scams. That's what worries me about crypto.
I think that's a fair concern, John. I really do. I mean, we've already seen crypto. There can be a lot of manipulation there. A lot of the apps that trade crypto, there's been a lot of discrepancies there as well. People getting quote unquote screwed out of hard-earned money, if you will. You walk into almost any liquor store now and you see Bitcoin and crypto ATMs. I mean, it is becoming slowly a part of our digital currency in the future. For look, paper money's going away. It just is. So I applaud Colorado for taking that on. I think it's a good move. I really do.
You know what? A shout out to Polis too. Like, Governor Polis is always looking to evolve the state, and whether you agree with him or not politically, I think this is a good faith effort to do something new and exciting.
Yep, I would agree with that. I think
Okay.
it's a good move.
Speaking of good vibes, Art, you found a story that I think is really awesome. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, such a cool story. And, the world, when we cycle through the news to try to find this stuff, it's amazing to me how many pieces are surrounded around fear-mongering and bad news, people death, murder, all this crime. Well, guess what? Something beautiful happened, and I'm going to share this story a little bit. So we have a couple that were fiancés with each other, and unfortunately, the husband or husband-to-be had passed. So he's now a late fiance to this wonderful woman. And when she was out at one of her favorite restaurants, unfortunately, she lost her engagement ring, and it's a beautiful ring. And so
What was the restaurant?
the restaurant, let's see if I have that in. I didn't put that in the
No,
notes.
you did. It's Brewery Bar II.
Okay.
And so
it is in there. Brewery Bar II.
Okay,
Yes.
so quick aside here, Brewery Bar II. I went there probably once a month for my entire youth. My parents, it's their favorite restaurant. It's one of the best places for green chili. Let's bring this full circle. They have amazing green chili. Probably my favorite chili relleno in Denver.
Okay.
And so it's not surprising to me that it would be this place because the staff is lovely. They do amazing work, great food. It's not shocking that it's this place. Keep going.
Yes, no, and thank you so much. And so the ring is missing. One of the local news outlets picks it up as a story, so it's catching some traction. It's getting popular, and one of the employees that was at this bar, this brewery, one day getting off of work just happens to be looking in the mud. Actually, they work multiple jobs, and they were going to go to their next job. So they're a hustler. They got kids, and you know, they look down, and within the dirt, within the mud, they see a little bit of this ring. They pick it up, and they considered pawning it off. They considered like all the different things anyone would think about. Like if you found $100 sitting on the ground, like you'd probably just pocket it. Like that's money in the pocket. However, they had their intuition spoke to them. And so when your intuition speaks, you should listen. And this gracious person did, so they kept it. And so they started to kind of see these stories. They were checking in on the news and about this missing ring. And there's pictures of the gal and stuff, and she happens to frequent his place of employment. And so it was like 2 to 3 weeks after she had misplaced the engagement ring of her late fiance, he actually approaches her. He recognizes her at the restaurant. And
was he like, is this it?
No, he asked a couple questions.
Okay. Sure.
Tell me about the
sense.
ring. Tell me about this ring. And she hit everything, all the nails on the head, accurate. He gave it back to her. And the feeling that she felt, because this was one of her late fiance's favorite establishments, and for an employee from there to find it and then redeliver it back to her, is just it's a wholesome story. And so there is good in the world. There's good around us. And it's so good to highlight some of these things within the Denver area.
Totally.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing that, Art. That really is a good story. Because they had every opportunity to just run off on it, whatever. They said, look, man, I'm going to stick around, see what's going on here. This has to be, kind of, near and dear. And that's great. I'm glad that came full circle and then that ring got returned.
Well, dude, and near and dear to my heart, Brewery Bar II. Not surprising. I've always had nothing but the best experiences there. I adore those guys. So awesome story, Art. Got a couple of shout-outs here, so let's talk sports, right? Fall's the time for sports.
That's right.
Got to give some love to Becky Hammon here, who led the Las Vegas Aces to their first WNBA title. Becky Hammon, Colorado sports legend. She went to my alma mater, CSU, is probably one of the greatest athletes in CSU history, and we got to show her some love. Her number has been retired. She's in the CSU Sports Hall of Fame. She is the very first woman to be an assistant coach for an NBA team. Was the coach of the Spurs Summer League. And then one time when Greg Popovich got ejected from a game, she took over, was the first acting head coach as a woman of any male professional sport, has now led the WNBA to their championship. Much love to Becky Hammon. Huge shout out to her. Love her. She's one of my favorite athletes of all time.
That's incredible. Yeah, shout out Becky Hammon for sure. I mean, some local love, getting it done, getting out there, taking the bull by the horns. That's fantastic, man.
All right, so I gave some love to someone from my alma mater. Do you guys have someone from your hometown, your high school, your college, who's like the best athlete from any one of those kind of things?
I grew up in such a small town, Wolfboro, New Hampshire. I mean, we had a town of 5,000 people.
Whoa.
There were some good athletes that came out of there for sure. Probably, I would say Tyler Cott was a guy that came out of my hometown. He was an amazing football player. He's not with us anymore. He lost his battle of leukemia. So I'm going to go ahead and say that for my hometown, Tyler Cott.
Tyler Cott. Well, R.I.P. to Tyler Cott. I'll be honest, and I will continue to be. I'm not really a sports guy.
Oh, really?
I'm not really into sports. Like, I can appreciate it. I can respect the work that these athletes put in. I'm sure that there's been some people that have really seen higher heights, but I'm unaware of that. It's just one thing I haven't been following in my life.
You know what, Art? That probably makes your life a little bit less complex.
Yes.
Good for you, man. That's so good.
It's like Kevin with he knows what kind of beer he wants everywhere he goes.
Well, there is that, and I'm going to quote Bill Burr a little bit here on the way I look at Art's analogy on sports is, when you look at guys that do curling, right, the Olympic sport, and they let go of that rock, Art just slowly let go of his interest for sports and let that rock go. That's kind of what I think.
All right. Well, then, Art, we're going to do one
I'll
more
agree
here.
with that. I'll agree with that.
Okay, so Avalanche training camp just got underway. Nathan MacKinnon wanted, before camp started, to get his contract done. One of the best players in the NHL. He is now the highest paid NHL player. He's going to be with the Avalanche for the next 8 years. So Peter Baugh with The Athletic wrote this, too. This is one of my favorite things. With MacKinnon, Cale Makar, Gabriel Landeskog, and Mikko Rantanen all locked up for the next few years, the Avs championship window should remain wide open. And I got back into the Avs this year. The Avs won the Cup this year.
That was epic, though.
I was a huge hockey fan back when I was like in junior high, high school. Fell off a little bit because, okay, guys, I have kids.
Yeah.
So, like, I only have so much bandwidth. But this reignited my love of hockey. And the fact that this core is together, huge. I'm thrilled.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I mean, how exciting for Denver. You know, they took the Stanley Cup. You know, getting ready to go at it again here. I mean, I'm from New England, so
Yeah.
I'm obviously a little bit
You're a Bruins
biased
guy?
to the Bruins. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Bruins fan.
Did you celebrate Ray Bourque when he won the Cup with the Avs? Or was that before your time?
Well, I mean, you know, it might have been before my hockey time because I really didn't get into the NHL until a little bit after the lockout, to be honest with you.
Oh, interesting. All right. So, yeah, I was just wondering because they held a parade for Ray Bourque.
Yep.
Like, when he won the Cup with the Avs, he went back and Boston celebrated with him. So, yeah, that's just one of those weird connections.
Look, the NHL is making a big comeback, I feel like. You know, I think, again, going back to the lockout, and a lot of fans kind of fell off a little bit. The Avs have always been there, though. I mean, one thing we got to give the Avs, right? Every time they've been in the Stanley Cup, they've won it. This is a big deal for sure. I'm excited for the Colorado Avalanche. It's going to be a great season. I mean, we've got NHL preseason coming up this weekend. Good stuff, man.
For sure. All right, let's go back to one of your interests. What are we talking about next?
Well, I mean, what we talking about next, it got to be tacos. All right?
Of course.
Because look, as much as I love to eat, I've lost a substantial amount of weight over the last couple of months.
You so sexy.
But it's only because it's portion control, but the love for food remains.
Yeah.
All right? And guess what's happening coming up in Denver? It's the Taco Festival. And next time I'm going to put the dates in on here on that, but it's really easy to find online, guys. So my question is what is your favorite type of taco, John?
Any taco that's in front of me.
Oh,
That's a good answer.
Yeah, like literally, I will go for high-level fish tacos. I'll go for fancy, schmancy street tacos. I will even go with the corn hard shell ones with ground beef that your mom
but
used
you
to
said
make for
fish taco first, so is that your go-to?
No, it's probably I go with carnitas.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely carnitas.
I was gonna do the same.
Yeah.
Carnitas definitely go to. I got to go carne asada. I mean, it
yeah.
really depends on, if I'm going to a fish taco place, of course it's going to be fish.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm a simple guy. I like the California style. Give me that carne asada, a little bit of that guacamole on there with some heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you got to have some heat. I mean,
Always heat.
I think like there's some parallels with our opinions on the heat because, we're talking Korean spicy, that fried, we're talking hot tacos, and there's nothing to me that is as good as just that simple carne asada taco with the onions on it and what is it? They put cilantro.
Are you talking about carne asada or carnitas?
Carnitas is the
carnitas is pork.
steak.
Correct.
No, carne asada is steak.
Carne
Yeah, carne
asada is steak.
asada.
And carnitas is pork.
Yeah, I want the carne asada.
Okay. No, see, I like the pork, man.
Oh, yes. So I'm into the beef.
We know John likes the pork. He likes the pork on a fork.
Yeah.
So of course he wants the pork in his taco. It makes sense.
And we'll give Art his beef injection.
Yes, I need the beef.
Art loves the beef. But seriously, like, you got tacos, just give them to me, man.
Yeah.
Just let's have some tacos.
You can't go wrong with tacos, guys. So why wouldn't the taco festival make sense? You're going to go eat delicious tacos. I'm in.
Yeah, you make tacos at home. I want to try your taco.
100%. Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up. What's cool shit to do in Denver this weekend? Kev, what do you got?
Man, there's some cool stuff going on. I'll tell you, the biggest thing I'm excited about is go-karting on ice. Okay, because I love.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's returning to Denver. It's at the Big Bear Ice Arena. I haven't personally done it, guys, but I love karting. I do K1 speed. I do unserved. There's great racing around Denver. As we talked about, I love racing. So put me on some ice. I'm in. You're going to get in there for.
I wonder if they do like special tires on that shit.
Well,
like spiked tires.
No, you got to know how to drift, Arthur. You need to know how to handle a race car. That's
Should I watch that third Fast and Furious movie again? That Tokyo Drift one?
That one wasn't that good, though.
It's
you might
grown
learn
on me.
some skills. You might learn some skills if you want to do Denver on ice go-karting.
Okay, quick. What's the best Fast and Furious movie? This should not be hard.
The first one.
The first one.
5. It's 5.
What?
It's Fast 5. It's Brazil. It's when The Rock is introduced, and it's like Ocean's 11, but a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, but that's where like some of the Fast and Furious has always been, their stunts have just been almost impossible to accomplish.
ridiculous.
No, I
But
agree with you,
ludicrous.
but 5 is amazing.
I mean, I love The Rock. But the first
when
one
they drag
has
the
to be
safes
best.
through Brazil, man, come on.
It's epic. I've seen it.
So-
I love it. But the first one, no way. It's
Okay.
the best.
All right, fair. I saw the first one on cable recently. I'm that old. I'm still watching cable. All right. So go-karting on ice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
If you really like turning them wheels on ice, you get out there and do that this weekend. Look, guys, if you want to do some yoga, the Butterfly Pavilion is doing some fun yoga events Saturday morning, guys, from 8 to 9 a.m.
To the end of the year, right?
Yeah, it's going on for a long time, man. Get out there, get dialed in with nature. I don't typically get up that early, but if that works for you, do it. Obviously, we talk about the Rockies-Padres. They're playing all weekend, so if you want to catch some football before that goes away, the Rockies are 39.
You mean baseball?
Yeah, that's right. The Rockies and the Padres.
Yeah, well, you said football.
Well, we also have some football coming our
sure.
way, too. But the Rockies are 39 and a half games back, right? So if you want a cheap ticket, you want to get that last hot dog in, go check that out. I probably won't be there, but hey, man, that's some good fun.
A time at Coors Field is never bad.
It's a great.
You're not going to have a bad time at Coors Field.
Agreed.
It's a great location. One of my favorite ballparks in America. Again, I grew up around Fenway, so that says a lot. We did talk about football Sunday night. That's got to be sold out.
Yeah.
We got the NHL preseason coming up. Art, you and I are going to be at the Midnight at Mission Ballroom Saturday night watching some 80s retro music. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds fun.
We talked about the Denver Oktoberfest. That's this weekend if you want to do some drinking. Just good stuff, man. Andrew Santino's in town. He's doing some comedy at the Paramount. I believe that's going to be a Netflix taping. And then Alabama, if you're a country music fan, they're at the Ball Arena.
Alabama's a legend, dude.
Oh, they're great.
What a phenomenal band.
We actually had some trivia come in on that. So, do you guys know I don't know how much you guys know Alabama.
I don't.
But
Not well.
the relationship between the original Alabama and the current Alabama, there's a relation between some of the personnel in the band. Does anyone know what it is?
No.
They're cousins.
Okay.
So, there's some fun trivia for you.
Fantastic.
Cousins from Alabama. I wonder what that makes me think of.
So, are they married too? Awful. Art, what are you getting into this weekend besides the midnight?
Well,
anything else?
This weekend, I'm looking forward to a move coming up, so I'm going to go through some old boxes and see what is worth bringing to the new space.
Okay, I may as well be the parent in the room. I got a 2-year-old's birthday party, so that's going to be lit. Like,
Yes.
So get after it, son. Beyond that, it's a pretty low-key weekend. I got a lot of heavy weekends coming up, so looking forward to that. But one thing I will say is Happy Friday is launched. You're going to see us every single week now.
Yes.
And gentlemen, I got to tell you, you got something to cheers me with? All right, let's cheers. And Art, put that camera on me.
All right, I got you, baby.
It's your day, Denver. Happy Friday. Hit it, Justin.